50-50% chance of rain today. I think she must have been trying to play some kind of joke on us because I'm going to post a little trip to Mexico right now. And this area has been seen as Mexico in several episodes of television shows and movies over the Wait a second. It's raining up on the driver's side of the tram and not mine. That's the quote she must have meant by a 50-50% chance of rain. Right now, put your cameras up the top of that hill because we often have flash floods when it begins to rain here. Now what you see running down the hill is 10,000 gallons of water. We recycle our water, it'll run straight up the hill, reset itself, and be ready to surprise the next tram that comes around the corner. Now that area was used in Janet Jackson's Escapade video, and it was used in the movie Fletch Lives, which starred Chevy Chase. Now that's where they filmed the Quackland sequences in that movie. Chevy Chase also did another picture here on the Universal lot, and that was done in the area we are entering right now. And that was the Orion picture Three Amigos, which also starred Steve Martin and Martin Short. That's part of the Warner Brothers miniseries North and South, which starred Patrick Swayze and Kirstie Alley, filmed here as well. Up on my side of the tram, this livery stable was used in the movie My Little Chickadee, which starred W.C. Fields and Mae West. And right now we are entering one of the most photographed places here on the Universal lot. This area is known as 6 Point, Texas, and if you take a look around, you can see exactly why it's called that. Now there are actually 6 different roads all leading to this one point. Now this was built back when we were filming our silent westerns here at Universal Studios, and we could actually film 6 different westerns at one time. Now each road had its own saloon, sheriff's office, and motel, which made it possible. And if our bad guys were to get run out of town, all they simply had to do was turn the corner, and there they were. Now our cowboys were always getting into fights, so for that reason some of the buildings in this area are made of foam rubber. That way if any of the cowboys got pushed up against one of these walls, they wouldn't hurt themselves, they just bounced right back. Now over the years many westerns have been filmed here, including Wagon Train, Alias Smith and Jones, and The Virginian. We could film another western here today if we needed to. We would just bring in some dirt to cover our roads, bring in some planks to cover the sidewalks, add some hitch posts and water troughs for our horses, and we'd be all set and ready to go.
Dirt, wood. Yeah, full rubber.
Up on the driver's side, you'll see an underwater tank. They would fill that tank up with water, place their actors in there, open up the windows. Our camera crew would film from the outside. That way only our actors would have to be wet while filming an underwater scene. Up on the driver's side, you can see the Lion Estate signs. Now that's the subdivision that Marty McFly lived in the Back to the Future pictures. And on my side of the tram, you can't miss this large black and white riverboat. You take a close look, you can see our riverboat is a facade. Now it's built on land, and the only thing that moves is the paddle wheel located in the back. Have your cameras ready for this side because this body of water was the entire Pacific Ocean for McHale's Navy, which starred Tim Conway and Ernest Borgnine. Now there's a legend that a few underwater mines have been left here in the area. I've never really seen any, but you might want to watch out. Oh, okay. Oh, well, right now we're approaching our Red Sea inspired by the Paramount picture, The 10 Commandments. Now we're going to need to part these waters in order to continue on with the tour, and I'm going to ask for a little bit of help. Now on the count of 3, I want everyone very loudly to say, part the waters. Maybe they'll do that, and we can continue on with the tour. Let's get it right the first time, guys. Really loud. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Part the waters! Great, and there they go. Now, the original Cecil B. DeMille film, The 10 Commandments, they parted the waters much differently. They took a frozen block of gelatin and melted it down the center with gas jets, then reversed the filming process, and it looked like the waters are parting. In just a couple of moments, we'll be traveling through our Red Sea. We ask that you remain seated for your own safety. Have your cameras out. If there's anything on the ground you don't want wet, pick it up because sometimes our sea level water does creep in at foot level. And watch out for spiny blowfish as we get ready to go through. Well, we've landed on the island of Korokora. Now, this area was used in the Gold Mine television series, which starred Stephen Collins. It was also used in the Gilligan's Island television movies as well. But I think that if Gilligan would have known Europe was right around the corner, he wouldn't have stayed on that island so long. Hope you brought your passports, because that's where we are now. This area has been seen as Europe in the movie All Quiet on the Western Front, which won Best Picture at Universal Studios. Up on the driver's side, you can see part of Spartacus Square from that movie. And they can make this area look like any European village by just changing the signs posted on the storefront windows. And these cobblestones you're feeling as we make our way up the hill aren't really cobblestones. When the concrete was wet, we just took a cookie cutter type device and pressed them right in there. If you look up on my side of the tram, this is one of the oldest sets here on our back lot. This is our Court of Miracles, and it was built back in 1919 for the Lon Chaney movie The Miracle Man, and they've used it quite a bit over the years. Now, something that filmed there you might remember was an episode of Moonlighting, and that starred Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd, and that's where they did their version of Atomic Shakespeare. And that was a spoof of The Taming of the Shrew, and it won an Emmy Award for ABC Circle Films. Now, over the years, a lot of monsters made an appearance in that court, including Dracula, which was played by Bela Lugosi, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and Frankenstein. Now, originally the role of Frankenstein was offered to Bela Lugosi, but when he found out that the makeup and costume was going to weigh 45 pounds, he decided against it. So at that point, an unknown actor by the name of William Henry Pratt took over the role, and you might know him best by his scarier stage name, and that was Boris Karloff. Right now we are heading for Soundstage 50. Now inside the soundstage, they have been filming a major motion picture the past couple of weeks. Now not all of our trams get to go through an actual working soundstage, but we've been given the okay to let 8 trams go through this morning, and we are one of the 8. Now inside it's a hot set. That means all the pieces of the set are in place and just where they need to be, and all the props are set up just right. Now when the cast and crew return to work on the movie on Monday morning, they'll just move the cameras right back into position and continue filming. Make sure you have your cameras ready because you're going to want to take some pictures of the movie set we're about to see. Now inside the soundstage, they have constructed a subway system. Now this particular subway system is made to look like one that's found up in parts of Northern California. But we're going to ask that you bear with us a couple of moments. These tracks were not designed for our trams. They were designed for the subway train traveling in this movie. So please bear with us the next couple of moments as we enter inside. Now you can see they've just pushed the cameras off to the side, so just move them right back into position when they return to continue filming. Even up on the driver's side, you can see a coffee table where they obviously had coffee on Friday, and they didn't bother to clean that up. Now this movie is being filmed up in parts of Northern California, Washington, Oregon, and in the city of Chicago. Now this time we can't say what the title of the picture is because they're working under a secret title, as movies often do here early in development. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain calm and remain seated. Wait a second. What's happening? What's ceiling back here? Did you like that one? Yeah, hey, that was Earthquake, the big one. Our earthquake is an 8.3 in magnitude, and it's made to simulate the earthquake that shook San Francisco in 1906. Our earthquake can reset itself in 30 seconds and be ready for the next tram to go inside, and that was 60,000 gallons of water pumping in there. Now, up on my side of the tram, that's Paul Bunyan in his Blue Ox Bay from the movie The Great Outdoors, which starred John Candy. And looking up on the driver's side, looks like we're entering Amity Island. Now, there have been some recent shark sightings here on the island. There's not supposed to be any swimming or fishing or really any recreational activity in general taking place on these waters. Now, the shark has already killed 25 people, and we... Hey, wait a second, what is George doing? Hey, George! George, you're not supposed to be fishing out there. George must not have heard. We gotta get him off the water. George! George, they see sharks in the water. Didn't you hear?
There he is. Yeah, there he is.
George, turn around. George, there's a shark fin right behind you. George, can you? Oh, George, I don't know which way he went. He went under the water.
No, help!
I guess you found him. Oh, George. Right now we're going to keep our eyes out there on that yellow buoy. Now they've attached some shark bait to that buoy, and if our shark's so hungry, wait a second, something's got it. Oh, hold on. We're going to catch a shark. He's going to come up in just a few moments. I just know it. Shark bait was attached. Might want to check and make sure the person you are sitting next to is still there. And if you look up on my side of the tram, you can see our Jaws sequence resetting itself. Right now, it looks like Jaws is doing the backstroke. Now, the boats you see on the water were used in the movie Jaws. And all the housing you see behind Jaws Lake is currently seen as Cabot Cove, Maine in Murder, She Wrote, which stars Angela Lansbury. That will be back for its 7th season this fall on CBS.
He doesn't look lethal.
Now, if you think back to the first Jaws movie, you might remember the first victim. It was a young swimmer by the name of Chrissy, and she decided to go skinny dipping. Now, Chrissy was wearing a corset-type device with 3 ropes attached to her middle, and one of the ropes was supposed to be pulled, so it looked like Chrissy was struggling with the shark. But for some reason, all 3 ropes are pulled at one time, and Chrissy actually broke her ribs while filming that scene in the movie. Now, Steven Spielberg decided to leave that very scene in the movie because her look of pain and shrieks of terror were so real.
He left it in there.
Now, here on the Universal lot, we filmed a couple of Western movies, some sci-fi movies, a couple of monster movies, and even some musicals. If you look up on my side of the tram, it's Miss Mona's Chicken Ranch from the musical The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, which starred Burt Reynolds and Dolly Parton. Now, that's a practical set, and we can film inside there if we needed to. And the yard you see around the house is currently seen as Jessica Fletcher's backyard in Murder, She Wrote. Up on the driver's side, you can see some trailers for the television series Lassie, which tapes here on the Universal lot. Now, that stars Stewall peeked in at the girl's window. The tan house next to that is from the movie Harvey, which starred Jimmy Stewart and the Invisible Rabbit. And the blue house next to that is better known as 1313 Mockingbird Lane from the Munsters television series. The yellow house is from the Lassie television series with the new Lassie.